Hey guys, it's Bex. Welcome to another video, and it is my favorite time of the month. Every month I do a TBR Jar Chooses my reads video to kind of pick the books I'm going to read the next coming month, which is going to be for May, which is crazy. We're really getting into like summer. So that being said, I think I may be kind of in the mood for some romances, which I don't have a lot of, but I have a couple, and I'm just always in the mood for fantasy, thank God, because I have so much fantasy on this cart. I have my TBR jar here with prompts in it, and I'm going to choose 6 prompts. Like usual, if you're new here, that's usually how many prompts I choose. Lately, I would say I've been reading around 8 to 9 books a month, which is really good. This year, I've just been busting them out, and I'm not even like really trying that hard. I'm still gonna go with 6 though. That's how many I've always done, and it just gives me some leeway with choosing maybe another book that's not on my TBR if I'm in the mood for it, but still getting to all the books on my TBR, or if I have to read certain books for videos that don't get chosen, I still, again, can hopefully get to all of the books that I actually chose to be on my TBR. So yeah, 6 prompts. We're going to just get straight into it. First prompt. A book that was published more than 5 years ago. Okay, I probably have a decent amount of options. By the way, these 2 are library books, which is why they're kind of in their own spot, because I want to try to get to them if I can, obviously, because I'm borrowing them. That's new. I don't know, but I actually am in the mood to read this, so let's check. Dang it. More than 5 years ago. Guess when this was published? May of 2020. And we are going into May of 2025. However, that means it's not over 5 years. That's annoying, but that's okay. We're gonna put it back. I hopefully will get to pick it again for a different prompt. Besides that, what am I in the mood for? I really need to continue the Cruel Prince series. I believe this is the 2nd book. I'm pretty confident. Copyright 2019. So this one is. So I think without further ado, I'm just gonna go with this one. And this is, again, the 2nd book in the Cruel Prince, aka the Folk of the Air series. It is a trilogy. I have the 3rd one as well, so I just need to continue read it. I really liked the first one. This is like a young adult fantasy with some romance about like fairies and humans, and so far I'm having a great time with it. So first book going on TBR. 2nd prompt. Set in another country. I have a couple that I can think of off the top of my head. The Nightingale takes place in France. Prince Caspian, The Chronicles of Narnia 4th book, takes place in England. Besides that, it's kind of hard because a lot of mine are fantasies again, and they take place in like made up places. So does that count? I know everyone says that when they get this prompt, because I watch a lot of other TBR jar videos, and everyone's like, does this count? Because Watch Me by Tara Moffey, if I can grab it. I'm really excited to read, and it takes place on Ark Island, which is, I'm pretty sure, not real. What do I do? What do I do? What about The Lost Story? Dang it. West Virginia? Definitely not. Another country. I really, truly do not think I'm in the mood to read The Nightingale right now. I don't know why. I just am not. And I could pretty easily read this book because it is so short. Prince Caspian, I have been listening to all of these books. Again, this is the 4th one, so I'm over halfway through. Or exactly halfway. I think there's 6 books or 7. I've been listening to them on audio, and they're like 4 hours long. So these are always good little kind of palate cleansers. So should I just be actually following the prompt and do this one? Probably. Fine. I'm just kidding. I'm excited. This one is one of the ones that was made into a movie. I've been excited to read the ones that weren't because I don't know what they're about, but it's also exciting to read one that has, because you already know the story and you're like just curious to see how it's different, or I don't know. That is going to be our 2nd book, which is, I'm happy about both of these because they're both continuing series that I'm in the middle of, because literally within the last like 2 weeks I think I've started, I don't even want to say, 4 new series. Yeah, not great, not great. All right, third prompt. By the way, it doesn't matter if I'm looking. You can probably see I'm looking at the prompts because I have no idea. The colors don't mean anything. I have no idea what's written on any of them. I don't remember. I wrote them like months ago. So, book that starts with the. Ooh, okay. None of the books I want to read do. I'm just realizing. Watch Me doesn't. Sunrise on the Reaping doesn't. Beach Read doesn't. The Lost Story is definitely, that is an option. Or I could always put The Queen of Nothing and just try to finish the series this month. But again, if I don't put this on this month's TBR and read it this month, I think I can like extend my hold or whatever from the library for another, what is it, like 3 weeks or something like that, which would take us about halfway into June. But do I want to have to do that? I don't know. And it is a standalone, and it's also kind of based off of inspired by C.S. Lewis's The Chronicles of Narnia, which I'm obviously reading right now, so that might be kind of fun. I think we're gonna go with this one just because it's a library book and I want to make it my priority. I didn't even plan to pick this up from the library, but I had 2 other books that were like on hold that I did online that were ready, and then I browsed and they had this and I was like, oh my gosh, I've been really meaning to read this and buy this and I haven't yet. So I think this is the one we're gonna do. This, if you don't know, again, is inspired by The Chronicles of Narnia, about these 2 boys that went missing in West Virginia, in a state forest in West Virginia, only to reappear mysteriously 6 months later with no explanation for where they'd gone or how they had survived. And then 15 years after, Rafe, one of the boys, is a reclusive artist who still bears scars inside and out, but has no memory of what happened during those months. Meanwhile, Jeremy, the other boy, has become a famed missing persons investigator. He's the one person who can help vet tech Emily Wendell find her sister, who has vanished in the very same forest as Rafe and Jeremy. Jeremy alone knows the truth. The 2 missing boys were in a magical realm filled with impossible beauty and terrible danger. He believes that is where Emily's sister is, but for his own reasons, Jeremy has kept Rafe in the dark since their return. So it sounds really interesting. I hope I'm really like it. I really liked her other book, The Wishing Game, so excited for this one. All right, I had to check how many we've done. This is going to be the 4th one, if I can get it out. Oldest released book. Again, I keep already picking books that would fit this prompt the best. Like The Chronicles of Narnia is for sure my oldest released book out of these, but I already picked it, so I guess it's not anymore. So now I just have to look to see what the next oldest is, and I don't know. I'm pretty sure this book is kind of new. 2019. Sorry. Ooh, how about this one? Don't want to read this. I don't want to read this. Copyright is 2013. Shoot! Okay, so far, that's the oldest. I'd be really surprised if any of these are older than that. No. I don't want to read this anyway because I want to read it in the fall, so I was just checking. This whole series is out, so maybe it's older than I'm thinking. Nah, 2016. I've heard very mixed reviews on this book. Some people think it's like so underhyped, one of their favorite young adult fantasy books or series, because it is a series. But then I've also heard or read reviews that said they didn't like it. So it could go either way. And I know that it's not extremely, like, it's not wintry per se, but it does take place like an icy kind of land, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And just the name, the cover kind of just all gives winter. And obviously we're starting it's still not summer until June, but spring, summertime, and it's starting a new series, so I don't think so. So you know what I'm gonna do? Let me grab a book. Dun, dun, dun. This is definitely the oldest book, and I've been wanting to read this since I read the first one. This is the second book in the Lord of the Rings. I read the first one probably 10 months ago, almost a year ago. This was published in 1955. So I think this is the one we're actually going to do because I'm just not in the mood to read whatever the other one was. This one. This is on my TBR. We just all keep our Tolkien books together on our bookshelf, and I don't keep it on my TBR cards. So that is going to be the 4th book. I'm actually so excited. All right, 5th prompt. We're already almost done. It's so sad. Ooh, yay! A book that matches the current season. Spring, summery. Technically the season we're in is spring, but spring and summer books are basically the same in my opinion. So I already think I know which one I'm going to pick. Hold on. I have to wind this back up small in order to get it into its little thingy. Okay, and that is Beach Read by Emily Henry. I have just also been waiting to read this when the time is right, when the season is right, when it's warm, and it's finally been warm here. Like even today, it's not as warm as it has been the last couple of days, and I think it's still going to be in the high 60s, 67, something like that. This is an adult romance, and it is about these 2 authors. One writes literary fiction, Augustus, the guy, and January writes romance, she's the girl. I'm just gonna read pretty much the whole summary because it's short. They're polar opposites. In fact, the only thing they have in common is that for the next 3 months they're living in neighboring beach houses, broke and bogged down with writer's block. Then one hazy evening, one thing leads to another and they strike a deal designed to force them out of their creative ruts. Augustus will spend the summer writing something happy, and January will pen the next great American novel. She'll take him on field trips worthy of any rom-com montage, and he'll take her to interview surviving members of a Blackwoods death cult, obviously. Everyone will finish a book and no one will fall in love. Really? That's so cute. I'm so excited. I've read one Emily Henry book before, which was Funny Story, and I liked it. I enjoyed it, so I'm so excited. Yay! Finally got that one. It's honestly so uncomfortable sitting on the ground. I think I'm already getting old. All right, last prompt. Dang it, this always goes by so fast. Maybe I'll pick 7. I don't know. Okay, under 300 pages. Is it just wanting me to pick 7? I think it might be. But also I'm annoyed because, once again, one of my only options I've already chosen, which is Prince Caspian. However, I do have this one, which I do want to read. I've been saving it to read for a specific video, and I just haven't gotten around to making that video yet. Let me just make sure that I don't have anything else. Oh my gosh, no! You guys, this one's 305 pages. That is so close. And like, I'm just being honest. I really do want to read this for a specific video, and I don't think I have it planned for a specific month quite yet. So if I pick that one, am I actually going to read it? Probably not. So I don't think that's really fair to pick a book that I don't think I'm going to read. I love being a booktuber, but this is the problem with it, because I would pick this one if it wasn't going to be in a video. So I think it's my video, my rules, and this is so close. I think I'm gonna pick this one. Don't hate me. I already told you guys what the series is about, so there is that one. Should I pick another one? All of these books are pretty small. I am gonna pick another one because, like I said, I've been reading more lately. Like already in April, which we're not quite done with, I've read 10 books. I read 10 books last month too, which is the most books I've ever read in a month, and I've done it twice in a row now. So I've just been reading more, so I think we'll still be able to get through all of these. An award-winning book. I don't like this prompt because I don't know if I have that many. I know off the top of my head that The Nightingale is... Does this count? Like, I don't know. Like, it says here, a Cosmopolitan Best Young Adult Book of 2019. I don't know if that counts. I can't believe this one's not. Unless it is and it just doesn't say. Okay, well, I guess we have to choose this one, which is fine. It's just, of course, I pick a 7th book and it's this one. It's huge. And I also said I'm not really in the mood for it. But we'll see if I get to it. That's what I get for choosing an extra book. So this, if you don't know, is a historical fiction about these 2 sisters, and it takes place in France during World War II. And rather than like following the fighting or the concentration camps or whatever, you're following kind of the women's war. And I've just heard it's absolutely heartbreaking. And I'm a very emotional reader, so I'm definitely going to break down and cry and and it's probably just going to wreck me, but that's okay. Please hold. Alright, we have all physical books this month. I didn't pick any from my Kindle or from Kindle Unlimited, which is not a good thing per se, but I do want to try to get through my physical TBR. That is the goal this year, and I feel like I'm doing decent. I used to have a couple books on the back of my TBR cart, and now they are... Ooh, actually, I think I still had one back there that I couldn't really fit, but now I definitely can, which is this book. So we're gonna put that in front. And now I have all of the books that I own on the front. Like always, let me know if you guys have read any of these books, what your thoughts were. If you want to see any of these in reading vlogs, let me know. But thanks so much for watching. I appreciate all of you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!